Hello, friends and foes. We're gonna start. Oh, let me just tell you. My mom met some guy in the mental hospital she just stayed in. My mom comes back and claims all this crap that I don't believe for a second, you know, that he's going to help and this, that, and he knows lawyers, and now suddenly my mom wants to fight Marion after I had finally just given up and said, fuck it, okay? But in any case, my mom is driving me nuts. But do you think she ever will admit that to anyone she talks to? No. Unlike Laura, who always tells the truth, even when the truth may present Laura in a negative light, my mom will lie to get sympathy and compassion. She's yelling at me. Won't say why. Telling her new friend I'm yelling at her. Well, she gave me her new friend's email address, and he doesn't know what he's into, because you guys know me. I just sent him a whole bunch of emails all at once. Okay. Anyway. So my mom was telling me to move out. I'm like, I am going to move out, Mom. And when I do, this is what I was going to tell my mom, but I didn't. And when I do, but I did send it to her friend, I think. And when I do move out ASAP, I will be sending a nice little letter to Auntie Miriam telling her that I know everything. Telling her that I know everything. Okay, comma. She can shove the damn barking collar up her ass, comma. And I hope she chokes on her fucking greed. Okay? Oh yeah, and when I do move out, and am safely away where nobody in my so-called fucking family will know where I am. I'm not going to tell my mom where I am. I'm not. Because if I tell my mom, Marion can find out. I'm going to change my freaking phone number. If my mom wants to contact me, she can contact me via my shelter friend or via email. And if she gives Marion my email, I'll just cancel my email. I'm not playing around here. This is a fucking joke, okay? It's a joke. And now it's even worse because my mom has to take medication. She used to only have to take it at night. It's the same amount, but now she has to take it in the day and the night. And she's like, I'm going to tell my psychiatrist I can't deal with it. Mom, you have to be on the meds. You're not on the meds, you get sick. She is on the meds. She can't function. I can't be her caretaker, okay? I am not mentally equipped to be my mother's caretaker. My shelter friend sees that 100%. My mom just, you know. Anyway. Oh, okay, first email I sent to this guy along with a picture of me and Omar dressed as a jester. This is when I was a little heavier. I was taken in L.A. I want him to realize that I'm the good guy here. I'm not after my mom's money. I'm after checks and balances being placed on my Aunt Marion, okay? Especially since I don't know what's going to happen to my mom. My mom has the fucking 401k. She apparently has... I'm sitting here feeling bad for her. That's what makes me so angry. I'm sitting here thinking she has no money, and all her money has to go for her teeth, which is what she led me to believe, and now she confessed. She comes out of the hospital and confesses. Oh, Marion made me lie to you. Marion told me not to tell you that I really got 50, not 10. Mom, you didn't have to lie to me. You know damn well, even if the cunt doesn't know, I'm not after your money. I have plenty of money of my own, and I'm not after your money, Mom. Anyway, they wrote to him. This was 7/1/13. Here is just a taste of what has been going on between my mother, my Aunt Marion, and me for years. I sent this out to two of my good friends. Plot thickens how I now officially despise Auntie M, even more if that's even possible. So apparently Auntie M had even more reasons, $50,000 worth of reasons, to relatively recently, 4 months ago, scream about me these scathing words at my mom over the phone. She's a conniving bitch. She just wants power of your money. I'm going to have her thrown out of there. When all that I was trying to do was to help my poor, confused, easily manipulated, far too trusting and gullible mother was something Auntie Marion should have taken care of months before. My mother knows that I'm not after her money. My mother knows, even though Marion does not, that I have plenty of money of my own. And unlike my Aunt Marion, I am not a greedy, sneaky little bitch. And I only have my mother's best interest at heart always. What I'm fucking after, quote unquote, is for checks and balances to be placed upon my Aunt Marion, whom, as things currently stand, can do anything she damn well pleases with what is supposedly my mother's substantial amount of money. The end. Just email 1 to this guy. Total stranger. I met him once in the mental hospital when I visited my mom. And he could be a total asshole, or he could be just, my mom believes anything that comes out of anybody's mouth. But so what? She gave me the email. Here's another person I can send this crap to. She's not going to be calling this guy or anybody and just saying I'm yelling at her and not explaining the situation. Anyway. And then I put, if you wish to understand exactly what kind of shit we're dealing with here, Google durable power of attorney, Durable, and start reading. Did my mother tell you just how much I despise Marion? Laura. Okay? Okay. And then I put my email didn't come back to me, so I guess it reached you, and that was the one I just read to you guys. Here's just a taste of what's been going on. Alright, and this is what I wrote this morning, because my mom is yet driving me nuts again. I didn't get any sleep. She's obsessed because she was watching stuff in the hospital. She wants to have, a better cable station. That's fine. Instead of basic, she wants advanced. So what? You don't have to call at 9 in the morning when I just got through telling you that I only got 3 hours sleep. I only slept 2 to 5:30. I walked Omar, so you didn't have to. He went caca. I want to go back to bed. I was up all last night all frazzled because you had me frazzled and you lose the money that I gave you, that I owed to you and that you had, everything. Every time I turn around, she was losing something. Then she's telling me she can't be on these meds, that they make her hallucinate. But they're going to make her be on the meds. She's lucky they didn't put her on stronger meds like her psychiatrist did. She hadn't been taking them, but her regular, she might get put, who knows what's going to happen, I don't know. To top it all off, Marion told me last Monday that my NOS cancer is actually doing better. Right? But then I talked to my mom's friend, and who knows that the NOS cancer had hospice come in. She says, usually you have hospice, you're dead within 10 days. And now apparently the NOS cancer is doing way, way worse. I said, Mom, it's just a week later. Why didn't Marion tell me she was doing much better? But whatever. Alright, my email didn't come back to you. I guess it reached you. Okay, this is what I wrote him this morning. Okay? Wrote it to him while my mom was outside saying she just keeps yelling at me, not telling the truth as to why. I just wanted to sleep. I can't function when I don't sleep. My mom won't leave me alone. She does not have to be calling the cable company at 9 in the morning. It's not life or death that she get this new cable stuff. She can wait till the afternoon when I get up, so then I didn't go grocery shopping with her. Fuck her. She can go by herself. So let's see if she doesn't lose the money. If she loses the money, oh well. She lost 121 last night. And then she has me hold on to everything and then changes her mind. Fuck her. I don't care. I cannot deal with this. I can't be my mom's caretaker when she requires this much care. She couldn't even write the check to the cable company. I'm like, Mom, you could always do that before. She says, my glasses aren't working. Mom, they're brand new bifocals. They're brand new glasses. I got you to go to the eye doctor. Mary doesn't give a shit. And you can all say, oh, well, her sister's dying, blah, blah. You're right. She is. I believe that it would be the same. Marion has a busy life, whatever. It would be the same whether her sister was dying or not, okay? And I wrote this to this guy. If I do not get away from my mother, I'm going to wind up sectioned into a mental hospital, okay? For the first time ever in my life, I'm going to wind up sectioned if I don't get away from here. My mother is not even remotely telling you the truth. She was talking to him on the phone while I was emailing him this. See, I have the power. I have the internet, and I have a mind, and I can fucking write. Not that anyone's ever even appreciated or the world's ever, whatever. My mother's not even remotely telling you the truth as to exactly what she does that causes me to yell at her and then completely despise myself for my inability to control my temper when my sick mother continuously provokes me. I am taking Omar or moving out of here ASAP, and once I do move out and I'm safely away where nobody in my fucking so-called family will know where I am, I will definitely be sending a nice little letter to Auntie M telling her point blank that I know everything and let her think about with that, and then then she's going to come over and scream at my mom, but I won't know. Well, I can't take this anymore. This has been going on too long. I cannot take it. I'm going to wind up sectioning myself. I can't take it. My mom has a big mouth. She can let something slip out or whatever. Or maybe she'll start talking to her psychologist, and they're going to tell Marion. And, Marion can come over here and say stuff to me and provoke me into wanting to hit her or something. She has the police wrapped around her little finger. How many times have the police seen my mother taken away in the ambulance here? I can't take it. Alright, anyway. Auntie, I'm telling her point blank that I know everything. She can take her fucking barking call and shove it up her cunt ass, and especially that I hope she chokes on her greed and her never-ending desire for control over my mentally ill mother. I'm walking away and I officially kiss my rightful inheritance goodbye. My mother can't function on her own. My mother will likely wind up in a home exactly where I know damn well Auntie Em would love to see my poor sick mother wind up, so that my mother would no longer be any kind of a burden on good old Auntie Em. The end. P.S. My mother knows how absolutely smart I am. She knows that I'm a college honors graduate, yet she continuously doubts everything I say to her when I'm only speaking the goddamn fucking truth that my sick mother is unfortunately utterly blind to. Take it, I'm gonna get away. I need to fucking drink. I'm drinking on the 4th, definitely. I don't care. Don't care. Nobody would condemn me. I didn't go through AA. This got put on me, and that's good because it helped me lose weight, but I never intended to stop drinking for the rest of my fucking life. Never did I intend to do that. And then I wrote, I have to leave here. My mother has never wanted to fight Marion with me, and I finally simply gave up, and that's the truth. I told you guys. I have to leave here. My mother has never, ever, ever truly, sincerely agreed to fight Marion with me. My mother has often even been 100% against me fighting Marion on my own, so I finally simply gave up and said, fuck it all. I also understandably do not wish to live in any place where my longtime enemy can come in any damn time she pleases, because despite what my naive mother 100% believes to the contrary, my mother's home technically belongs to Marion. I hate myself when I yell at my sick mother, who endlessly provokes me into yelling at her, and then outright lies to her friends, family, and tells the aforementioned people that I'm just being mean to her and yelling at her for no fucking reason at all, equals I want to fucking die. If I don't grab Omar and get as far away from my quote-unquote crazy mother as possible, I'm going to wind up sectioned into a mental hospital for the first time ever in my life. I can feel it. I don't know if I'll be able to read this before my mom gets home. Sitting there feeling sorry for her. She has all this fucking money and I'm feeling sorry for her. I don't believe it. Oh, that Marion's quote-unquote investing. Yeah, bullshit. Sell me another bridge in wherever you sell bridges to idiots. Investing for her. You're never going to see any of it, Mom. Things go downhill the way I'm noticing them going. The way I believe Marion's counting on. Because then you'll be out of her hair, and she can visit you just once in a while and say hi and whatever, like she does with Erin, who's been sick forever, as long as I've been alive. Maybe beforehand, I don't know. Okay, this is the one I wrote. My mom has a tendency to lie, whereas I always tell the whole truth, even when said truth presents me in a negative light. I get angry, agitated when I try to speak about things that upset me this much. Better that you or anybody who cares read my words. Alright, I'm going to change his name to, I don't know, Ben. That'll be easy enough. That's not his word, but I'll change it just so I can tell you that I've inserted his name to make it more personal. But chances are, my mom's probably going to come home before I finish this. Okay, just 3 months after Marion deigned to allow me to come stay with my mother after I had just spent 6.5 months at, insert name of shelter, Marion showed her true colors yet again. The second Marion justifiably suspected that I was influencing my mother to stand up to Marion and show the slightest bit of autonomy, Marion's claws came out, and the first thing that Marion did was what Marion knew would hurt my mother the most. Threatened to throw me out of my mother's home. Do you get what is happening here, Ben? Do you see why I'm at my breaking point? This shit has been going on for too many years, and I simply can't take it anymore. Marion could lie easily, by the way, to the police about me, Ben. I wisely put nothing past this woman whom I know damn well wants my mother's estate for herself. Miriam can enter my mother's home whenever Miriam wants to do so, because I can't stay here under these circumstances, period. My schizophrenic mother sadly does not even remotely possess the mental abilities necessary for her to fully understand, grasp the nature of what I'm going through, what this is all doing to me, Ben. Back in 2009, Marion declared as fraud legitimate charges that my mother had made on my mother's own credit cards while I was visiting my mother. Marion did this for one reason only, to make it look like I had stolen my mother's credit cards, yet my mother's ridiculous reaction to my desperate attempt to get my mother to finally realize just how deep Marion's evil went was, well, at least she reduced my credit card debt, Laura. Yeah, Mom, by making me look like a criminal when she was the one who had committed a criminal act the second she declared those legitimate charges you had made as fraud. You wonder how I found that out? Because I'm smart. I know the internet. I'm smart. I got my mom to give me the security answers needed, or I mean whatever. I opened up an online account to find out what Mary was up to. Never imagined in a million years. I just wanted to see if she was paying off my mom's credit cards, whatever, like she said, claimed to be doing or whatnot. Never imagined in a million years she would have declared its fraud charges that my mother had made on her own credit cards. My mom didn't just buy stuff for me. My mom bought stuff for my mom. My mom bought food. My mom bought whatever. She declared it as fraud. It only amounted to, like, I don't know, $1,000 or something ridiculous like that. It didn't matter. She didn't do it to reduce my mom's credit card debt. It wouldn't have made a difference. She did it for one reason only, to make it look. I know. She had no reason to do that. It wasn't fraud. She knew damn well my mom. She did it for one reason only, and you cannot ever convince me otherwise. Okay? I didn't steal my mom's credit cards. She had them. Mary declared as fraud. She did it viciously. She did it intentionally. And I know she tells the police any goddamn thing around here she wants to. She has them wrapped around her little finger. My mother had, okay, now we go to part 2, paragraph 2. My mother had promised to finally stand up to the family, okay? This was back in April 2012. Okay. My mother sent me the money, yet lied to the family and told them that my good friend had sent me the money to come here so that Omar and I could fly here and cry to heal from the abusive relationship I had been trapped in for 11 years. I arrived at blah, 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 airport, called up my mother and heard these shocking words spew forth from her lips. There's been a change of plans. You're going to X shelter. If you come here, you'll be arrested. On what grounds would I have been arrested, Ben? My mother wanted me here with her, and there was no restraining order against me. This was simply yet another example of how easily my mother could be 100% fooled into believing any goddamn thing that anybody told her. The woman in the office here who hated me, still does, by the way, who was in cahoots with Miriam, tricked my mother into falsely believing that I would be arrested if I came here. But then again, we all know, even if my mother doesn't, that durable power of attorney that my mother signed in 2000, yet was oblivious as to exactly what she was signing, made all my mother's assets become my Aunt Marion's assets. And so that made me think, well, maybe she can pull this is really her house, I don't know, or she could say, Marion could say whatever, but she didn't have to. My mom believed I would be arrested even though there was no restraining order, and that was just based on the woman in the office, whatever they say, because the police came and got me. So what? My mom removed that in 2009. That stupid thing that said, it's just all bullshit. My mom knew she removed it, but she still was afraid. It's easy to manipulate a mentally ill woman, a schizophrenic woman's mind, or any person like that, their mind, man or a woman. Okay? I knew it wasn't true, but I was frustrated. I arrived at the airport with Omar thinking I'm coming to my mom's to heal, and I'm told I'm going into the fucking shelter. At least my mom was able to take Omar. Of course, every night it was, Marion saying this dog Omar can't be going shit on the floor, Laura. We're going to have company, blah, 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 whatever. I'm like, oh my God, Mom, what are you trying to do? Are you trying to fucking kill me? Really? Really? I'm barely hanging on, and you're gonna bitch about the poor dog who wasn't trained because my abuser didn't care about training him and just wanted to fucking sleep and just throw him in the kitchen and half the time not even put him out on the patio. So his mom and I said, you can't just throw him in the kitchen and go back to bed, Donald. You have to at least put him out on the patio. And then Mary was like, they shouldn't have had him out in the patio. That was the extension of the house. Fuck you, you cunt. You don't know the shit I've been through. Anyway, mother could be blah, blah, blah. The woman in the office here hated me, still does, who was in cahoots with Mary, tricked my mother to falsely believe that I would be arrested if I came here. But then again, we all know, even if my mother doesn't, that durable power of attorney that my mother signed in 2000, it was oblivious as to exactly what she was signing, made all my mother's assets become my Aunt Marion's assets. In any case, when I understandably got a tad upset, wonder why that was, with the news my mother was relaying to me, her reply was, and I quote, "Stop being so selfish. Samantha's dying." Onto us cancer, right? Samantha, Erin, Berenda, whatever, is dying. Don't upset the family. My mother can take her family and choke on them all, Ben. She always selfishly puts their feelings ahead of mine, and I'm done with it. My Aunt Erin has fucking been dying for nearly 19 months now. I want nothing to do with any of them because they all broke my heart in 2009 when they believed any fucking lie about me that spewed forth from Marion's evil, conniving lips. When I moved back here, my poor Aunt Erin got a free pass because she was dying, and even more importantly, because eons ago I used to consider her one of my best friends and a second mother to me. But the rest of my so-called family can all go fuck themselves, especially Miriam. Oh, to make this movie of the week shit even more interesting, Ben, my mother wasn't even aware of the existence of this durable power of attorney that Auntie Em had over my mother until 7 or 8 years after my mother had supposedly signed the damn thing. This all came to light back in 2009, shortly before my mother had police escort me off her property because I had been yelling, quote-unquote, at her over exactly what I had found out when I took that durable power of attorney to the courthouse and received the shock of my life. See, Ben, when my mother gets sick, I have this in bold, she hates Miriam. But once Miriam starts being nice to my mother forgets all about everything that Miriam has done to either my mother or me. But I forget nothing, and that's where my absolute frustration and rage towards my mother derives from. In 2009, the only reason I found out about the exact nature of this POA that my Aunt Miriam had apparently had over my mother for 9 years was because after blah 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 mental hospital released my mother, who had unfortunately got sectioned yet again while I was visiting her, Miriam started lying to my still sick mother and telling my still sick mother that I had stolen $3,000 from my mother's account. I hadn't stolen a penny from my mother, Ben, and her credit card had been locked up in the hospital safe the entire time anyway. Equals, Miriam was simply, as usual, trying to fuck with my mother's mentally ill mind for some odd reason. My mother had the wherewithal to drive to her bank and request a copy of a check that, surprise, surprise, proved that I had not stolen $3,000 from my mother's account, that Miriam had simply transferred the money elsewhere. At this time, I guess my mother decided to request a copy of that power of attorney. Don't know why she did it. I certainly didn't know she could or anything. She'd never had a copy of it, remember? She doesn't know what it is, never had a copy of it any more than she ever got a copy of the healthcare proxy that gives Marion the power of life or death over my mother. My mother didn't know what's in that either. But once she got the document home, she changed her mind, of course, and I had to deal with her. She forbade me, okay? And forbade me to take it to the courthouse to find out what it was. I'm smart. I could trick my mother, so I not only stole the document out of my mother's drawer, pretended that I was simply going off to the mall for the day, going shopping, Mama, right? And took the copy of the power of attorney to the courthouse. I also started extensively researching durable power of attorney on the internet. What I found out only confirmed my worst fears about what Marion had been up to for years, and the rest was history. This email doesn't even scratch the surface of what's going on here now, and has been going on here for 5 years, Ben. But it's at least a start to help you to better understand where I'm coming from, Laura. Okay. Did I send it twice by accident? I may have. Oh no, here we go. And then I put this again to just to clarify to him. Can't stress this enough. See, Ben, whenever my mother gets sick, she hates Marion. But once Marion starts being sickly sweet and nice to my mother again, my mother forgets all about everything that Marion has ever done to either my mother or to me, but I forget nothing. And that's where my absolute frustration and rage towards my mother derives from. For the sake of both my mother and me, I need to move out of my mother's home ASAP, Laura. And yeah, I am taking Omar. My mom can choke on her family. If she wants to actually finally fight this, she needs to get the ball rolling, and then I'll step in and give my 2 cents. Alright? I've given my 2 cents to her friend who supposedly can help us, who's supposedly this, supposedly that, but she found him in the nut house. You know, he can say anything, and my mother believes everything, you know? It's just a nightmare. I'd given up. My mom comes home and, you know, I have to get out of here. I hate myself when I yell at my mother. I hate myself and want to die when I yell at my mother. Do you understand? It's not her fault she's sick, okay? But she is. And it wouldn't matter if it was just her being sick and whatever. I can't be her caretaker. It has to do with Marion and the rest of the family who are all bow down and listen to everything Marion says. I cannot take it anymore. I cannot take it. I need to fucking get laid again. And I need to drink. Oh, let me qualify that. I don't intend to ever start. I'm too vain. I would put on weight. I don't intend to ever start drinking like I was drinking before. But I do need an escape. And I do need to be touched by male hands again. Intimately. And not by a masseuse or an escort. By somebody who, you know, who's into me a little bit. Certainly not in love with me, or runs screaming away from anything that indicates hints of that if I get a whiff of a man being in love with me. But sex, oh yeah, I miss it, I want it, and I want it with another person. I want to experience that, and I want to experience it for the first time in my life in the way that I've always dreamed of experiencing it, and never, ever, ever have. Sorry. Never have. Never have I experienced sex the way I'd always dreamed of experiencing it. Because that takes a certain kind of person. And I might never find that. Okay? And it doesn't necessarily mean that you know, you can't know ahead of time anyway, but it's at the very least, going to be a guy I'm attracted to who's into me and I'm into him. Otherwise, I'll just remain alone forever. I don't care. I don't fucking care. I'm sick of this shit. I'm sick of this shit going on with my mom. You know what my shelter friend says to me? That's why we want to, you know, get together and go out or something. The holidays. You know what she says to me? She's like, Laura, we need to get you a life. I can't take this with my mother. I cannot take my hatred of myself. I cannot take it. I'm going to wind up sectioning myself. Do you realize that Mary can come over here? If something happens at the store or whatever, and my mom would probably call me, well, why wasn't Laura with you? Because she's driving me nuts and I hate your fucking guts, but she's not going to tell you that. It's just going to look like me being bad, just like 2009. This all looks like Marion is protecting my mother from me, but it's bullshit. It's bullshit. It's fucking beyond bullshit. Such bullshit that it just makes me want to just... The end.